I've made something very plain for everybody. And that is, we need to express who we are and not what some bloody society, some school, some university, some media blueprint tells us we must be. And if you keep walking on that expression of uniqueness, whatever it is, in a world of enforced uniformity, a world of psychological fascism where we're constantly told what we should think, what we should do, what we should say, where we should go, how we should live our lives, then when you express uniqueness in a world like that, you are going to get some response. I seem to remember that I had some. We are here to have a debate, if you wish. Now we've hit on something. Now we've hit on something which is exactly the thing that I was talking about, which is other people telling other people what they should think, do and say. I have no problem with that lady saying whatever she likes. She has a problem with me saying what I like, and that was massively out of context, by the way. The lady might not know, but around the world, this is where it wasn't where I was going to go, but I will. Around the world, unpublicized by the mainstream media, go on the internet and find it, are large numbers of Jewish people who actually protest against Zionism. Because Jewishness, the race, whatever you want to call it, and Zionism, the political philosophy, are not the same thing. And I'll tell you something else. As we speak, there is a whole people in Palestine undergoing systematic genocide. Who is speaking out for them? This is not about race, it's about decency. If anyone sees my philosophy on the nature of reality, remember who you are. Yeah. So who are we? What is this reality that we're experiencing? We are consciousness, infinite awareness, having an experience called David Icke, Charlie Jones or Ethel Smith. These divisions of race and religion and income bracket and all this stuff are there to divide and rule us. We are all one consciousness. Jew, Gentile, atheist, Muslim, none of them. I don't care. These are just labels. These are not who we are. These are just titles for our experience and our belief system, which pulls us into a tiny fraction of who we are. How many people get up in the morning and think, hey, I'm all that is, has been, and ever can be, having an experience? No, we get up and we say, I'm a Jew, I'm a Gentile, I'm English, I work in the store, I'm a banker. These are labels, and they're labels that pull us into a fraction of the infinite awareness we all are. It's an illusion. People go about their lives. We have a science, we have the media, we have education, we have all of this stuff, and it's all based on a simple, massive, big lie. And labels like Jewish and Muslim and all this stuff are part of the big lie. They're all pulled into it. But that big lie is...
Is Zionist part of the big lie? As a label?
Mate, I want to speak to the people. Keep interrupting me, I've got no flow. I'll stop when I'm ready. Now, we think of ourselves as those labels, when what we are is infinite awareness. And all those institutions are based and founded on the big lie that we live in a solid world. This is an illusion. Even quantum physics has shown that there is no solidity. So if this is not solid, even though I'm experiencing it as such, what the hell is crazy anymore? What the hell is fantastic anymore when this ain't solid? Why? Because it's made of atoms, they tell us, and atoms have no solidity. How can something made of no solidity create a solid world? It can't. And once you take on the idea that the world is solid and this is solid and all this is real, you take on the belief system of limitation. Because once we believe in solidity, then we believe, of course, in the limitations of solidity. When we realize that we are infinite awareness and everything is energy expressing itself in a different way, when we realize that we live in a virtual reality universe akin to some virtual reality wireless internet, then suddenly limitation's not there anymore. You can start to express and to understand the full magnitude of who we are. Jew, Gentile, anybody, labels, irrelevant. We take them seriously, they divide and rule the many so the few can control the direction of the world.
Could you tell me here, what is the point of the conspiracies and who is running it?
Well, for 25 years I've been going down this road of uncovering a global conspiracy. The reason that so many people come to my work today, having ridiculed me and dismissed me years and years ago, is because what was in my books years ago is now on the television news. And it's quite simply, there is a network of families, no, not Jewish, but network of families that are sitting on top of the banking system, the media, the corporations, governments of any party. This is why, you know, Blair gets replaced by Brown, gets replaced by Cameron. What changes? Bugger all.
Reptilian shite.
Bush gets replaced by, oh, Mr. Change, Obama. What changes? Bugger all. Why? Because the way politics is set up is that, I'll give you an American example. In the Bush era, Republican, it says here, that was controlled, even the mainstream media acknowledge that, by a group of people who are known as the neoconservatives or neocons. The Democratic Party in America is controlled by a cabal just the same that I call the democons. It includes people like George Soros, the financier, and Zbigniew Brzezinski, Jimmy Carter's former national security advisor. Now, the neocons and the democons at the next level answer to the same force, meaning whoever's in power, they're in power. The same happens in Britain, and that's why nothing changes. Labour Conservative today are standing on the same postage stamp, and that is dictated by this hidden power. And so, the structure of world control, the question is, how do a few control the many? How do a few control billions? No, the answer to that, if you know the structure by which they operate, it's a piece of bloody cake. But we have to be kept in the dark about that. This is the structure. If you look at a transnational corporation, say like McDonald's, they will have a headquarters somewhere in the world, and from that headquarters they will have subsidiaries in every country. And those subsidiaries will operate in line with the centrally dictated agenda from the headquarters. So if you go into a McDonald's in the Soviet Union, in Australia, in America, in Britain, anywhere, you're going into basically the same McDonald's. The structure of global control is based on that model, that accepted secret societies. The center of this web is in Europe for historical reasons, and in each country there is a network of families that control that country's banking, politics, business, media, etc. And its job in each country is to introduce the centrally dictated agenda in their sphere of influence.
The agenda is what?
I've got to put pieces together. One dot leading to another dot. I'll come to that. And therefore, you have this central cabal operating out of Europe, not European governments, centralized secret society web. And they dictate to the subsidiaries, and their job is to carry out the centrally dictated agenda in their sphere of influence. And so, we have had this constant centralization of power in every era of our lives. And it's got to such a point, has done for a very, very long time, where it's got a name. It's called globalization.